Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Rhea, a fellow homeschooling mom that happens to be a professional educator as well. And today, I'm excited to bring you a video series that I specially crafted for all new homeschooling families out there that are interested in this new journey, or they've tried to start in the past and they just need more guidance to get them going in a successful manner. However, I also hope this series holds some information that could be helpful for experienced homeschooling parents as well. It is just simply my desire to share information with you that I found helpful to me when I started this journey myself. So hopefully you'll find something here that bears helpful to you, whether you're starting the homeschool journey this upcoming year or you're continuing it. My wish is a successful homeschooling year for you all, and of course, a smooth start for all of our new homeschooling families. Now, I remember when I first started homeschooling, it felt like I was stepping into this unknown territory because education is my profession. However, homeschooling is a new process for me. I was anxious, I was scared, and apprehensive as I didn't want to do a disservice to my child. So I spent a great amount of time researching all that I could about homeschooling in my state. By the way, there's a lot of great information out there to help parents get started on this worthwhile journey. However, with all of that great information, I was simply in a place of anxiety anyway because I doubted myself and the process of homeschooling in my home. Well, now that that first year is over for me, I can happily report that I'm no longer anxious, scared, or apprehensive. Mm-mm. See, I now feel excited, confident, and empowered to guide my child's learning experience. That is truly what I hope for you to experience the same joys of homeschooling that I do. So I took time to think about what I believe I needed to help me get going in the right direction. Again, there is a wealth of information out there. I just needed help on how to focus on the most essential components to get me going in the right direction when we started the journey. Therefore, the purpose of this video series is to get back to the basics of homeschooling with this guide that could help you navigate through the initial steps, as well as offer some information that you could use as you embark on this exciting educational adventure with your child. I know I can't cover all things homeschooling here because the video would simply be way too long, but I am focused on the basics to get families going that are new to this journey and hopefully share something helpful for experienced families too. In this series, we'll cover a range of essential topics that will set you on the path to success. We'll discuss legal requirements and regulations that are crucial for a successful and compliant homeschooling journey in this video. As we go into further videos in this series for homeschooling parents that are starting out, we will take a closer look at other key components of this process that you will want to focus on, such as planning and organizing your child's curriculum, finding a great support system for homeschooling families, and incorporating effective assessment methods along with providing necessary social and extracurricular opportunities for your child. We will then wrap up with different ways that you can balance homeschooling and your personal life. Now, let's just take a look at the legal rules and regulations surrounding homeschooling in this video. So, depending on what time of day or night you're viewing this video, grab a notepad and a pencil, along with a snack if you need it, and let's just dive right in. Okay? When it comes to homeschooling, it's very important to be aware of the legal requirements and regulations in your specific state or country. These laws vary from place to place, so it is essential to familiarize yourself with your local guidelines to ensure compliance. In many states, homeschooling families are required to fulfill certain obligations. This might include submitting specific documentation, such as a letter of intent to homeschool, an educational plan, or an academic progress report. It's important to understand what's expected of you as a homeschooling parent. Therefore, your first task to address is finding out what your local school district or state education agency requires you to do to homeschool your child as soon as possible. A letter of intent to homeschool is typically required within a certain time frame before the academic year begins. Many states require homeschoolers to cover certain subjects such as language arts, math, science, and social studies. The specific subjects and grade levels may vary, so familiarize yourself with your state's requirements. Additionally, some states have minimum instructional hour requirements that need you to meet as well. Just keep in mind that you will want to know as much about the requirements for homeschooling as soon as possible so you have time to ensure you embark on this journey as smooth as possible for you and your children in time for the start of the new school year. Keep in mind that these are just ideas to help get going with your planning because the beauty of homeschooling is you have freedom to create your school year calendar according to what works best for you and your family needs. But to help you with planning, here are a few questions you need to consider as you prepare the year. What are your minimum instructional hours for the year? So here are samples of other instructional hours, minimum hours that have been implemented for the year. For children in grades 4 to 12, some families have selected 900 instructional hours for the year at minimum. For families with children between grades 1 and 3, 750 minimum instructional hours were allotted for the school year. And for parents of kindergartners, in the past, some have chosen 540 instructional hours for their minimum school year. When will you start and end the instructional year? Well, here's again more examples. Again, nothing that you're required to follow, but just some ideas as you prepare your planning. Some families have chosen to start their school year, the calendar, beginning to middle of September and end at the end of May. Others have chosen to begin right away in October and go all the way through to middle or end of June. And then what times will your school day begin and end? Very important to consider this so that this time is separated, set aside, and not interrupted. And some families have chosen school hours beginning at 8:30, ending at 2:30 Monday through Friday. Others have chosen to start just a little bit later, maybe to allow their kids to get up, clean their beds, and prepare for the day a little bit slower than, having to rush. And so they would begin at 9 a.m. and end around 3 o'clock Monday through Friday. And then other families have chosen 8 a.m. and they end their day a little earlier at 1 o'clock. And then they may choose to go more days of the week versus 5 traditional days. They may be going Monday to Saturday. Again, just ideas for you. You have the flexibility to arrange what works best in your family. Understanding the legal requirements can feel overwhelming. We understand that, but don't worry. There are many resources available to help you navigate the legal aspects of homeschooling. Local homeschooling associations, state education agency websites, and legal support organizations can provide detailed information, sample letters of intent, and guidance specific to your state. Joining homeschooling associations and support groups can be immensely helpful. These organizations often provide valuable resources, legal updates, and opportunities to connect with experienced homeschoolers in your state. They can offer guidance, answer your questions, and provide a sense of community on your homeschooling journey. So, to assist you in finding out what requirements you must adhere to in your state, please check out these two websites. I love both of them because there's simply a great amount of information for homeschooling in your specific state. When you view these websites, they provide you with information pertaining to the state you reside in. This is good because you can research the information provided on the sites as a way of ensuring you're well informed about your state's requirements. Let's look right now at Georgia for an example. According to homeschool.com's website, we can see that in the state of Georgia, children must attend school between ages 6 and 16. They must test at least every 3 years beginning in third grade, have instruction in reading, language arts, math, social studies, and science, and parents must submit a declaration of intent to homeschool. Parents must have at least a high school diploma or GED to homeschool their children in Georgia as well. They also welcome umbrella schools into this process. And here's a website you can check out to research more on umbrella schools if you need that information. Also, according to the Homeschool Legal Defense Association website, there is a low regulation of homeschooling in Georgia. Based on the information provided on the Homeschool Law at a Glance page for Georgia, families have one option for homeschooling. The required ages are 6 to 16. Families are required to provide notification of intent to homeschool. There is a teacher qualification component, a state mandated set of subjects for instruction, and there is a requirement for testing. Additionally, there is no immunization requirement to homeschool in Georgia. And if you look at this map and the legend at the top, everything's color coded. And so if you match the colors highlighted, you'll see that Georgia is highlighted to match where it says low regulation. So, based on that level of strict requirements, that may work well for you and your family as needed for you to have more freedom to create and implement what works best in your family. If you notice, there are a lot of similar information available for us on both sites pertaining to Georgia's requirements to homeschooling. This is great because it solidifies what parents in Georgia need to know in order to homeschool their children. And this works the same for you and I when we research the necessary information for our home states as well. Remember, when it comes to homeschooling, being aware of the legal requirements in your state is vital. Research your state's homeschooling laws, understand the notification and documentation procedures, as well as ensure compliance with compulsory subjects and instructional hour requirements. Utilize the resources available to you, seek legal guidance if needed, and join local homeschooling associations for support. Thank you for joining me in this discussion about the legal requirements for homeschooling. If you found this information helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insightful videos on homeschooling and education. Next up in this series is planning and organizing your homeschool instruction. I sure hope to see you there. Until next time, I wish you a day full of love, joy, and peace. Bye for now.